When your ex moved on so quick, and I'm talking about a matter of days or weeks, when they move on super quick, trust me, they're moving on with all their baggage intact. It hasn't been unpacked, it hasn't been worked through. They're no different to who they were when they were with you, and yeah, there's going to be good parts about them. And will their new person see these good parts? Of course they will. Everyone turns up to a new relationship full of all their best moves, turning up as the best version of themselves. But how long does that last for? 6 months if you're lucky? And then the real person comes out in full force. So my darling, while you are sitting there healing yourself, because that's what the crying is, that's what the sleepless nights are, that's what the overthinking everything is, that's you healing. It might feel awful and it might feel really uncomfortable, but darling, that is you healing. And whilst you're there healing, you let your ex carry on their rebound. Try to pretend that everything's absolutely fine and that there's nothing wrong with anything that they've done. Making excuses for themselves, feeling great about themselves because they're fine. They're not sitting there heartbroken and upset yet. Because let's be honest, their new partner's also going to realise that they were lined up while they were still with you. Do you think that that creates a massive amount of trust? And you know, trust is actually one of the most important parts of a relationship. Do you know how many rebound relationships actually last the distance? Because let me tell you, it's not many, darling. It's not many. Yes, we all know about Sarah and Pete up the road who got into a rebound 26 years ago and they've got 65 children and they're happy as Larry. We know about Sarah and Pete. But you know what? Most people are not Sarah and Pete. So you leave them rebounding. You leave them thinking they're happy as Larry, because one day when they look around and they realise that they threw away a diamond while they were busy picking up stones, my darling, you'd have well moved on by then. You'd have well moved on by then. And how do you move on? The best way that you can move on is by allowing yourself to feel the feelings, accepting how you feel, talking about it like to anybody who will listen, like seriously, do not hold it in. And journaling is literally one of the best things you can do, because when you write stuff down, your brain processes it differently to when you just think about it. So when you're writing your feelings down and then you read them back, your brain processes it differently. And that is how you need to deal with this. For that reason, that is why I wrote my book, Bossing Your Breakup. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. You can go and grab a pen and paper and you can write all your feelings down. And I suggest you do that. But if you're finding that difficult, which it is quite difficult, then get my book, Bossing Your Breakup. And honestly, it is a game changer. Look at the reviews on it. It is literally changing people's lives on a daily basis. I get messages every day saying I'm not even halfway through and I feel so much better already. It asks the questions that you just don't even think about. And it talks about the stuff that it wouldn't even register for you to even think about. And when you realise, it clicks and you're like, oh my God, like what am I crying for? And you might be sitting there thinking, no, because my ex is perfect. Well, darling, your ex just walked away from you and left you in a heap on the floor. So, are they really that perfect? So you leave them on their rebound. You carry on your healing journey, because you are the one who's going to come out stronger, wiser, and you know what, able to be by yourself. And that, my darling, is a superpower. Being desperate, needy, insecure, and being scared to be by yourself. That's going to leave you open to just jumping from one bad relationship to the next. And if that's the situation you're in, seriously, click that link, get your pen and paper out, do what you have to do. But you need to heal yourself. You need to get through this, and you will. You will. So my advice to you, do the work. Do the work, and then when your ex does come back to you, which 9 times out of 10 they do. Yes, I know. I'm not promising that they're going to come back to you. I'm not promising. And so I don't need comments telling me, oh, it's been a year and they haven't come back to me. You don't need to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you. And there are 4 billion men in this world. There are 4 billion women in this world. And my darling, there's going to be one out there that's going to treat you perfectly. So my advice to you is deal with this breakup like a boss.